devastating. Oh, you won't believe what's happening behind those royal glam closed doors. I mean, seriously, Prince Harry is apparently on the edge of calling it quits. Divorce, yes, you heard that right. After a single charity event turned into an absolute disaster and exposed Meghan Markle's true colors. And let me tell you, people are shocked, and not in a cute way, so here's the scoop. Everything looked picture perfect at first. Harry, prepping for the usual good guy charity gig, all about youth, purpose, making a difference, that was his comfort zone, his thing. But something about that day felt off. Dead silence followed. No calls, no excited thank you emails, just a weird vacuum. Phones stopped ringing. Emails, dry. His calendar, cleared out. Not because people were busy. No, because that charity event, it wasn't a sweet community outreach moment. It was a ticking time bomb. A fuse that had been quietly burning and just exploded. People started whispering. A youth nonprofit in LA completely wiped their social feed. First the photos, then the captions, then even the mention of Meghan and Harry. Boom, gone. Why? Oh honey, not because of paparazzi. That's normal. It's because the whole thing reeked of being staged for the cameras. Yikes. Word started trickling back to Harry, slowly, painfully. Rumors that Meghan's team had NDAS for staff, hand-picked questions, notes on where the kids should stand, based on the lighting. Yes, not heart, not message, lighting. It looked fake, it felt fake, and people noticed. One person spotted cue cards being held just off camera. Another watched a volunteer go in for a hug, and then stop. Frozen, like something just didn't feel right. Oh, and someone leaked a memo where Meghan's team literally described the children as set pieces, as in props. Can you imagine? If this had happened any other week, maybe it would have been brushed aside. But nope, this one hit different. By sundown, that nonprofit publicly distanced themselves. Said something bland and corporate, but behind the scenes, it was cold, brutal. They wanted nothing to do with Meghan's brands that once worshipped Meghan, gone. Podcast deals, cooling off, partnerships that were sure things, suddenly on pause. The worst part? Harry felt it happening, and he hated every second of it. Especially one word that kept circling, performative. Not authentic, not real, performative. And that word stuck to Meghan like gum on a shoe. It was devastating. People online weren't kind either. Leaks started flooding in. A staffer said the whole day was about content capture, not helping anyone. A famous biographer even called it narcissism dressed as charity. And it stung because it sounded true. Meghan tried to spin it, of course. Her team went into full PR overdrive, like Hollywood level. Lights on all night, phones non-stop, carefully written statements. We value partnerships. We celebrate community. We are grateful. But here's the tea. There was no apology. Not even a hint. No, we're sorry. Just curated Instagram posts, influencer lunches, smiling photos. And yet, the internet doesn't forget. Clips started surfacing. Like that awkward India trip where Meghan's presence felt, well, symbolic at best. Or that baby shower that felt more like a fashion event than anything maternal. Or remember those bananas she wrote quotes on for sex workers? All those moments, once brushed off, now looked very different. It all connected. People started seeing a pattern, one that didn't sit well. Harry, he was spiraling, watching all this unfold in real time. Every headline, every meme, every nasty nickname online. The British tabloids went savage, one even calling Meghan the Duchess of Deception. That was the moment Harry knew things had taken a turn they couldn't spin. And then, calls. From the palace. Yeah, those people, the ones who used to ghost him, suddenly popping back up. Not to say, I told you so, but their silence said it all. The cracks were widening. Inside their home, staffers started quitting. Quiet exits. No drama, just no more tolerance for Meghan's chaos. Even her PR firm, gone. Fired right after they warned her not to film that visit in the first place. That detail burned Harry because it meant this mess was predictable. And if it was predictable, it was preventable. That realization, it broke him. So there he was, Prince Harry, sitting alone in the hallway that night, pacing like he used to before military deployments. But this wasn't fear. This was humiliation, embarrassment, and it was suffocating. It didn't matter that he wasn't the one holding the cue cards or choreographing hugs. His name was on everything. His face was right there beside hers in every photo. The camera doesn't care who planned what, it only records the moment. What started hitting him like a cold wave wasn't just the silence from charities or the distance from brands, it was the tone of the emails. They didn't say, let's talk. They said, we need space. And you know what space really means in PR land? Doubt. Doubt about the image, the association, the risk. No one wants to say we're backing away from you in black and white, but that's exactly what they were saying. And while Harry felt all that space closing in around him, Meghan? Oh, she went full Hollywood crisis mode. Her team worked like it was a movie set rewrite. All hands on deck, phone calls, back-to-back meetings, even caption approvals being personally overseen by her. Every line crafted with surgical precision. We're grateful. We're excited. We support community. It was all words. Words with no weight behind them, not a single ounce of vulnerability. And Harry saw it. He saw that the thing people really needed, something real, something humble, was the one thing Meghan refused to give. Instead, she posted more curated photos, a lifestyle lunch with influencers, as if pretty pictures would drown out the growing static. But let me tell you, static doesn't go away just because you throw glitter at it. That noise started creeping into late-night comedy shows, TikTok edits, Instagram threads that stitched every awkward hug, every overpolished speech, every vibe that felt off. All of it suddenly looked connected, and it didn't stop there. Remember that viral banana message moment? Suddenly it wasn't sweet, it was cringy. That $500,000 baby shower, once glam, now grotesque. Every little moment that had once been brushed off as quirky now looked calculated and cruel. The internet loves a pattern. And this one? It was becoming a storm. Harry watched it all unfold online like a slow, painful unraveling. It wasn't explosive, it was steady, like sand slipping through his fingers, like a ship sinking an inch at a time. Then the mockery began. One late-night host cracked a joke about Meghan treating kindness like a calendar item, and the audience roared. TikToks went viral showing volunteers trying to hug her and her literally dodging it. One video of a teenage girl going in for a hug and freezing mid-motion, edited in slow motion with dramatic music. It hit 5 million views in 24 hours, and Harry? His name was still there, in every caption, every punchline, even when he wasn't in the room. So what did he do? He did the opposite. He went back to basics. Real charity appearances, no cameras, no PR teams, just Harry, raw, honest, present. And it showed. He cried during one visit, hugging a young man who had lost both parents. The images leaked anyway, but this time, they were different. People praised his authenticity, compared it unfairly to Meghan's coldness. Suddenly, Harry was the hero. Meghan was the performance. He hated it. Not because it wasn't accurate, but because it was so painfully unfair. The world loves a narrative, and right now, Meghan's was spiraling. She didn't slow down though. Nope, Meghan doubled down. Every interview, every caption, every public word was handpicked by her. Advisors begged her to loosen the grip, maybe even try vulnerability, maybe say sorry, maybe acknowledge something real, but Meghan shut it down hard. That's exactly what they want, she said. I'm not giving them that satisfaction. The room fell silent because no one wanted to say what they were all thinking, that what the public wanted wasn't satisfaction. It was truth. At dinner, he'd look at Meghan, watching her scroll, her eyes darting between headlines. Not reading, scanning, always scanning, searching for control, looking for where the next fire might spark. He wanted to say something, anything. Wanted to reach across the table and just ask, "Do you still see us in all this?" But he didn't, because he was scared of the answer. Some nights, he'd open his laptop, stare at his old photos, the ones before all this, before the deals, the branding, the staged shots, back when their smiles were real, back when they meant something, when the world believed in them. He missed those days like a phantom limb. He rehearsed conversations in his head, imaginary talks with Meghan. What happened to us? Why are we performing instead of living? Is this still what we wanted? But the words never made it out. And Meghan, she was slipping deeper into the machine. She stopped talking about causes, stopped asking Harry how he was doing. It was all optics, meetings, metrics, comments, reach, engagement. One evening, she stood in front of the mirror before a shoot, one of those glossy lifestyle things with flowers and flat lays, and Harry saw it. For a second, a flash of something in her eyes. Fear. She wasn't just protecting the brand, she was the brand now. And the weight of that? Crushing. Then came the next blow. A well-known fashion label, one that had always been in Meghan's corner, pulled out of a campaign. Quietly, professionally, the word used, reassessment of alignment. Another sponsor gone. The message was clear. She was no longer a safe bet. She was a risk. And Harry, he was the collateral. He kept doing what he could. Quiet appearances, real moments, no flash, hugging people, listening, being present. And for a brief moment, people responded. They saw him, the real him, not the prince, not the brand, just Harry. But the more they praised him for being real, the more they dragged Meghan for being fake. And that broke him in a whole different way, because he still loved her. Of course he did, but he didn't know how to fix this. Didn't know if she wanted to fix this. And for the first time, he started to wonder if love was enough. Not because of betrayal, not because of lies, but because of exhaustion. Because maybe, just maybe, they weren't the same people anymore. Maybe the dream had twisted into something they didn't recognize. Maybe the machine had swallowed them whole, and maybe, just maybe, it was time to walk away.